All right. Hello, everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with a extended, detailed update on our forecast, as we always do here on KVUE Plus and YouTube Live and all of our streaming platforms. So here are the main three things I want to talk with you about tonight. And again, we'll get into kind of the nitty-gritty on all of this. For your Tuesday, tomorrow, it is going to be very warm. I know we were warm today. We had mid-80s. We have low to mid-90s for Tuesday, so prepare for a little, almost like a summer preview. However, as we go into the late week, Thursday, Friday, still looking at promising rain chances through that stretch. Still some uncertainty with regards to how much rain is this going to be. You know, is this going to be, hey, is this nice, half inch, 1 inch of rain, great? Or is this going to be several inches of rain and a flood risk? We'll talk about some of that uncertainty coming up. Also, as this rain comes in, it's going to drop our afternoon highs a little bit. So I think we'll get at least a couple days where highs are back down into the 70s. This is a live view from our Oasis Cam over Lake Travis. So we're looking back west towards some storms that have developed into Gillespie County. So this kind of high thunderstorm anvil you see off in the distance, that is what's left after a stronger storm went up there a little while ago. Most of that activity now weakening. We'll get to the radar here in a second. The numbers today, 85 was the high for Camp Mabry, 84, 1 degree cooler at the Austin airport. So these numbers about 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. Not a record though. That was 92 from back in 2020. We're going to be more so in that neighborhood though as we get into tomorrow afternoon. This time of the year, the allergy count always a little bit problematic, and that was certainly the case today. I want to give you a heads up. Trees are high today. Grass is high. Weeds medium and mold high with alternaria after the rain and wet weather that we had yesterday. So just a reminder, you can always find this whenever you'd like on our KVUE app and on KVUE.com. Now, yesterday evening, depends on where you live. Where I live, we had quite a bit of heavy rain and even some hail. I live in the South Austin area. Our hail was not quite this big, but this is what the hail looked like in the Kyle area from Stephanie Gonzalez, and it was not just in Kyle. Again, we had a number of hail reports sent in yesterday, really mainly across the metro and the I-35 corridor. Now, there was a big storm that went up here over far southwestern Gillespie County. It went into the Kerrville area. That one produced some destructive, like huge hail. Fortunately, that was just barely outside of our area. Then over the I-35 corridor, that's where we had more widespread reports. Again, a lot of this was like quarter-size hail, but we had some pockets that was up golf ball size or maybe even a little bit more than that. Here's the satellite radar right now. It is, just after 7 o'clock, 7:07 on this Monday evening. All quiet, and I don't expect any storms in the metro or I-35 corridor, certainly not for the coastal plains. However, as we go out to Gillespie County, here's the loop over the last little while. Initially, we had a strong storm produce some pea-size hail here in Harper. That is basically all dissipated. Another storm, Kerrville, saying, hey, please do not produce more hail. It is not producing hail right now, but another little storm down in that neck of the woods. We'll keep an eye on this. A little bit more rain back west of Harper. Really, I think this is all going to be confined mainly to Gillespie County. I don't expect a severe storm, but is it possible, a brief storm could pulse up and produce some small pea-sized hail? I can't rule that out, at least not over the next couple of hours once the sun goes down. We'll be quiet tonight. Speaking of tonight, here's my forecast. Mostly clear early on. And, especially as you go along and west of I-35, it stays clear even into the morning tomorrow. However, I do expect some low clouds and maybe even some patchy fog to develop for the coastal plains as we go late tonight into tomorrow morning. Any low clouds in the morning quickly will give way to a mostly sunny and toasty afternoon. Look at these afternoon highs, man. All right, so Schulenburg 91, 92 in LaGrange, 90 in Giddings, 92 Bastrop, 92 in Austin. You get into some mid-90s over the northern hill country, Mason, Llano, Kingsland, places like that, up around 94 and 95. This is a closer look at the metro and the I-35 corridor. Kyle, I have 92 in the forecast for you tomorrow. Same for Buda, Lakeway, 93, Round Rock, 93, Georgetown, 93. I think this is the time of the year. I don't know about you guys. This is how I feel about it, though. Like, we start getting these days that are in the 80s. You're like, wow, this is fantastic. It feels so good. Then you have your first couple of days that start to get up into the low 90s and mid 90s and then upper 90s. And you start to realize, all right, before too long, we're going to be into summer stuff. Obviously, these transition seasons here in Central Texas, our weather rarely stays in an area that is nice and comfortable. We just have the big swings here. Okay, so let's get into the rain chances. I think this is really, of all the stuff, this is the most exciting thing in our forecast. We know we badly need the rain. We don't want it to come along with hail like what happened yesterday evening. But Thursday, Friday, It's been a while since I put a 70% rain chance in the forecast. That's what we have, though, for Thursday, especially by the second half of the day. I think even more widespread, like 70-80% chance Thursday night, then more rain lingering as we go into the day on Friday. So let's look at some of the model data here. This is our European model, typically very accurate. I would say, really of all the models we look at, this one is actually the least aggressive with the rain. Now, it's still bringing us some good rain, but it's actually kind of on the drier side of things, believe it or not. So keep that in mind as we look at this. Here's the time, 8 a.m. Wednesday. Initially, I thought maybe Wednesday could have a little rain. I think Wednesday's pretty much all dry now. But by the afternoon into the evening on Thursday, here comes the rain. Now, in terms of severe weather potential, honestly, I think if anything, this would probably be more of a flood risk if things lined up that way. I don't see a ton of hail, tornado, wind potential. We'll keep an eye on it. But I think if anything, if this were to escalate, it would be a flood risk. So here's 5 o'clock, Thursday evening, Thursday night, into Friday, more rain. Again, this model I would say is a little bit more hit or miss with the rain compared to some of the other data that we're looking at. But even into the evening on Friday, some rain is around. And then Friday night into Saturday, rainy weather is going to start to move out of here. So as I told you, there's still a couple ways this could play out with regards to how much rain we get. Here are some of the options. The European model, which is what I just showed you, says, hey, this is good rain. Is it a game changer for the drought? No, but it's good rain. Say half inch, maybe some a little bit above that, maybe some slightly below. GFS model says, hey, especially for areas southeast of Austin, maybe this is not just rain, maybe this is a flood risk. Maybe this is heavy rain. These areas, Fayette County, Lee County, Bastrop County, these are the zones in our KVU area that can handle rain the best. Truthfully, this is where we need a lot of the rain. And still, even this model is showing close to 2 inches in Fredericksburg, Gillespie County. That'd be amazing news. But again, I think this is a little bit of an outlier. I think this is probably a little bit aggressive, but I also think that maybe this is a little bit too pessimistic. So with that, there's another thing that we're going to look at. The WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, this is their forecast for rainfall the next 7 days. I think this is probably a pretty safe bet right now. Generally speaking, 1 to 3 inches of rain. Again, kind of favoring areas, Austin southeast, into some of these higher totals, which the Weather Prediction Center still says could be in excess of 2 inches. And then you get into some lower numbers that are maybe, around an inch, maybe a little bit less into parts of the hill country. We'll see how it goes. Starting tomorrow, we'll have some high-res data, and pretty quickly that should kind of answer some of these questions for us, both with regards to timing, totals, and which parts of our area are going to see the highest totals. We do already have a flood outlook, though, for Thursday. And again, this kind of illustrates the point where especially Austin points southeast. This might be the zone that's favored for some of these heavier totals. Level 2 out of 4, that is a slight risk for flooding. And then the level 1 from Austin, even back west into the hill country. So personally, my fingers are crossed. I hope we can get a few inches of rain, not all at once. Hopefully we can spread it out over, 48 hours or so. I hope we can get some rain. I hope we can avoid hail and severe stuff. It's just, it's one of those deals. I remember talking about this last year. When you get into the spring and it's been a dry winter and you're trying to catch up and you need rain, the cost of doing business with rain here in Texas this time of the year is, flood risk, severe weather threat. It's hard to make up that deficit without getting into some issues. But again, hopefully we can get things going in the right direction here. I don't see this being the type of rain that's going to completely eliminate the drought unless something changes and those heavier totals shift into the hill country. But it would be nice to get things going in the right direction, as they say. All right, so 7-day forecast. Tuesday, 92. Tomorrow, very warm. That'll be our warmest weather of the week. Wednesday, clouds increase, but still I don't think a lot of rain. 10%, 84. Thursday, not raining necessarily all day, but by Thursday night, late Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, Thursday night, widespread rain is moving in, and that looks like it could be a pretty widespread soaking rain, which would be good. So we go up to an 80% Thursday night, Friday 60%. Then we are drier, but not necessarily completely dry over the weekend. I think Sunday will be another day to watch. I just have a 20% in our forecast right now, but I actually think we'll have another one of those fronts coming through. So it seems like the better storm chance kind of skips over us. Then maybe there's a severe threat over East Texas, but we'll see how this evolves. It's possible this could go up or down and potentially implicate us into some sort of a strong storm risk, but as of now, it's just really hard to say. We'll be at 90 on Sunday. Then behind that system, just a little bit of cool air coming in for early next week. So that's what we're tracking. Again, kind of the main headlines. It's going to be very warm tomorrow. Then it's about the rain. We're going to be cooler. Highs will be in the mid to upper 70s Thursday and Friday. We're hoping to get some decent drought relief here, or at least some positive news going in the right direction. And then we'll kind of rebound back into the 80s and 90s as we wait on another small cool down heading into early next week. So that is the latest that I have for you. We'll take a little bit of a break here on KVU Plus, and the next update from me will be our newscast at 10 o'clock, which you can watch here on KVU Plus, or you can turn on your TV and watch it there as well. Y'all have a good night. We'll keep the updates coming, and I'll talk to you later.